Hello one, hello all, it's the gothiest ghost of them all, Caspa in the flesh, and it's time for a review of Liturgy 93696. Liturgy is a transcendental black metal band, and this is their 6th studio album. And it's been over a decade now that they've been in action from the start, from their release in 2009 of their debut, fronted by Ravina Hunt Hendricks, and she is a multi-instrumentalist, a vocalist, a guitarist. She is the total package when it comes to black metal, for sure. Also producing too, and her production is great. And speaking of production, another one who had a hand in production on this, on the engineering side, is none other than post-hardcore legend Steve Albini. Yes, Steve Albini. Not only a vocalist, not only a guitarist, but an engineer of the greats such as Nirvana, Jesus Lizard, Screeching Weasel, and even going forward with Joanna Newsom on Weiss, excellent album, or Sun with Pyroclast, another great album you should check out. So now he's back on here, and he is just absolutely killing it on here. Along with Liturgy, of course. I feel like they complement each other very well. Like, he's always had a knack for sound, how sound should be in the rawest form. Now, has it always panned out well? Not quite. Sometimes he does tend to leave things a little too compressed, but this right here is perfect. And the man does wear a lot of hats. So I feel, why not take on transcendental black metal, which he's done here. And this is probably his most complex monster yet. Liturgy, one thing I've loved about Liturgy is how not only cinematic and thematic they could be, but how they find the beauty in chaos. They find the beauty in ferocity. And I absolutely love that. They find a balance, and they do that very well. They have the ferocity, they have the harmony, but they don't make it sound cheesy. It doesn't sound like you're listening to a pop record trying to make its way into a metal album. No, that is not going on here. And they've definitely carried a very solid discography too, with Aesthetica, Hack, and Origin of Alimonies, which are great albums, which you should definitely check out right now. Catch up. And I'll wait here. Okay, we're back. And yeah, they've always pushed the envelope. Sonically, they have always pushed the envelope, and they're doing that even more here with elements of electronic music, with hip-hop, with folk music. They are literally pulling out almost every genre they could find and mashing it together to make it work. And I love that. With post-punk being my favorite genre, which is an amalgamation of everything, I feel they're kind of bringing that sort of concept to black metal here. And if you were paying attention to the last one, they brought opera to the mix. Yes, opera. And they set it up to where the album was broken up into parts, like an onstage performance, where you had your acts, your interlude, your overtures. Or overture, there's only one overture. I am sorry, I am tired. But hey, I've been catching up on this album. I've been listening to it nonstop. And it's been a great ride, honestly. This is this has definitely been an enjoyable experience. And how's it long? Well, some tracks range close to 10 minutes. Some tracks range close to 15 minutes. Like, this thing is like almost, it's long. It's like, it's 88 minutes. 88 minutes. I am sure of that. And it's broken up again into 4 parts. Sovereignty, Hierarchy, Emancipation, and Individuation. And the album opens up with the Sovereignty part, which means supreme power, authority, and I'm not sure if we could get into the concept of each per se, because that would make the video longer. But what really drives it here is not only giving each portion an identity of its own sonically, but also keeping it interesting as it goes on. So while there could be, or there probably is, a deeper lyrical thing I could get into, I was more interested in the sonic realm of this because it was just so damn interesting, so damn compelling. It just opens up with, like, a lot of the harmonious parts. Like, when they're harmonious, they're harmonious. Like, with beautiful melodies introducing each piece. Daily Bread has, like, these blissful, quivering, stuttering vocals going into, like, these layer of harmonies, doing, like, a droning line and single piano key playing. Like, it really gives the start of the album, like, that start it actually needs. And then it goes into Djennaration. Yeah, well, don't judge me on this. And I don't know where to start with this because there's so much going on here. Like, this is probably the most bustling instrumentation I've probably heard all year. And I am just blown away by this. Like, the flute bits panning in and out. The fiery tremolo pick guitars, this, like, the rolling snares, the pounding kick drums, the glitchy instrumentation. There's a lot of glitchy moments on here. It pretty much becomes like a trait on this album. But, like, not only did, like, that draw me in, but also the inclusion of, like, this trap style marching passage that just sounds kind of Kanye 808s. Kind of Kanye 808s. I'm just going to leave it at there. But yeah, it was definitely something to behold, and something definitely done well too. And Ravina's, like, screeched wretch vocals just going off against, like, these walls of strings, like these strings just, like, swelling, like, really brings in, like, that epic harmonization that I look for in a Liturgy album. Also, I mentioned too, with inclusions of other genres, I guess you could say, like, folk is included on here with the inclusion of a banjo on Caela. Banjo! If you know that reference, you're cool. With these, like, wailing guitar leads, woodwinds floating through the track over these dissonant guitars. It's insane. Also, like, with these choir vocals, like, hitting these crescendos, it feels like there's, like, a theatrical element here. Theatrical, but it's not campy whatsoever. It just really feels like, it still feels raw, still feels organic, but they still give you that element of innovation here, of versatility here, without throwing it off completely. Like, it complements it. It gives it, like, this cinematic feel that it's supposed to have, like, through each chapter. Like on the back end of Haelegen 2, where these intense but mesmerizing, like, angelic harmonies come in. Like, it just gives you, like, a mix of emotion, because, like, yeah, it's intense. You got Ravenna screaming her brains out. You got these drums going completely manic, and you're also, like, just mesmerized by the beauty of the harmonies on here. And it's just something to behold. So not only does this album have ferocity, but the innovation with, as I said before, tasteful electronic inclusion on here. Like, there's times where the electronic elements and metal don't work, and it's a bad idea, should not be done. But on here, I do think the vocoder vocals definitely complement this type of track. And the plucky guitars, the tremolos, like, the fiery guitars going on here makes it sound like a nightmare. Especially with, like, the sung background vocals, Ravenna's Daft Punk vocoder like vocals, like, it really, see, that's how powerful the album is. It brought the phone down. Yeah. Angel of Sovereignty has, like, these angelic children's choir vocals, and I know that, like, they're ascending in tone, but I feel like when I hear them, it's like I'm in slow motion, and even though they're ascending, I feel like I'm falling. But it's weird, because as soon as the change in melody comes up, I feel like I'm ascending back up. It's weird, but I love it. Before I Knew the Truth has, like, these blistering guitar leads, and just these builds of these walls of, like, guitar arpeggios, and these subtle inclusions of, like, vocal melodies, and the savage screams of Ravenna, and these sobering pianos at the back end just end things off really nicely. Like, and one thing I appreciate too is the pacing of an album. Pacing, sequence makes things go by so well, and I feel like these songs just transition beautifully into each other. And with all this chaos going on, the cool down moment is important. There should be a cool down moment, and we definitely get those with these serene tracks, such as Angel of Hierarchy with these vibrating piano leads. It just feels like a dream. It feels like the vibration just feels like there's, like, this bright shimmering light, and it's just shimmering, and it's kind of like you're waking up from a dream in a way, as you're, like, reaching more towards that light. Red Crown 2 has, like, these raw hand percussions with these raw but, like, gentle ocarina solo passages. They sound almost ominous in a way too. Like, even when this track is, like, at its serenity, it still feels like shit's about to pop off. Leading into Emancipation section, which goes into this track Angel of Emancipation, with these dreamy vibraphone leads that goes into, like, these glitchy electronic chimes, tremolos, and melodies. It's almost like sonic liberation of some kind. The song Ananon has, like, these lower melodic vocals that I don't think coalesce well with the track. It does have some moments I do like I do like the inclusion of stoner rock on here, but overall I could have done without this one. The title track, my god, like, from the tribal drums to the vibraphones to the crunchy heavy guitar, like, passages on here, the friggin' bass line over these crispy drums, like, just gives it, like, kind of like a, maybe not Primus, but, like, Tool in a way. Like, I'm definitely getting Tool vibes here. and the eerie chimes here just like gives it like this dramatic nightmarish feel with these like jump the fuck up riffs. So it's like you're getting a bit of Tool, a bit of Korn, mostly Korn with the jump the fuck up riffs. And we also get like these hulking riffs that feel like a friggin' giant is like approaching. And the epic drum rolls, the dramatic piano keys, it just brings it to like an epic finale. Like it's so steady, it's defiant, these grand bursts of strings. It's like watching the end of like an epic battle in like an anime. Holy shit. And Individuation has like these super somber like piano strings, these radiant yet regal melodies, and it just feels like I'm in the middle of something devastating. Like I've just gone through something devastating and now I've reached peace. I've reached a victory. And now I'm being awarded with this moment. And yeah, so the ending ends off pretty nice. Has a very serene, brief, beautiful way to close out the album. So yeah, once again, thematically, sonically, Liturgy is pushing boundaries here, truly and honestly bringing more life to black metal, keeping it alive. I'm feeling a 4.5 out of 5 on this. If you've given this a listen, what did you think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Tell me why. And that's it. Caspa. Critical Plug. Liturgy. Till we meet again.